Well, hi guys, Adam Houlahan here. Welcome to our first session in our LinkedIn profile optimization microdegree. Now, as I mentioned in the introduction, less than 5% of people really get this right. So if you follow the very simple steps that I'm going to show you over these next few sessions, we're going to get you up into that top 5% really quickly. And as you see, it's not particularly hard to do. So let's get started. This first session is all about visual appeal and how you make your profile stand out amongst the very many not so good profiles that currently exist on LinkedIn. So let me. This is going to be basically all screen recording, showing into my profiles and others. So let me jump on in there now, and we'll run through what we need to do. All right, so here you should be seeing my profile. And the three sections that we're going to cover today is the background image here, profile image here, and the position description images that show up here and here. So let's just go through those in order. So the very first one is background image. Now, a lot of the time, most people just have the standard background that LinkedIn sets up for every profile. And if you really want to have an influential profile, you do need to do something just a little bit better than that. Now, on mine, you can see that we basically, at the moment, I mean, fair enough, I change mine quite regularly. At the moment, it's promoting my latest book, Influencer. So this is one of the ways you can use it, but I'm going to show you a couple of other easy ways to do it as well. The first thing I should say is now there's two things you could do. You can either have a crack at doing this yourself, and you could use a software like canva.com if you're okay at a bit of graphic design. If you're not, like me, then sites like Fiverr.com or Upwork.com, you can connect with some pretty talented people that can do this for you pretty cheaply. On Fiverr.com, I've seen probably getting these background images done for sort of $15, $20. So it doesn't have to be a huge investment in cost to get a very professional finish at the end. The other thing I'd point out is that there is no right or wrong. Well, actually, there is a wrong. Wrong is to have the standard one that LinkedIn gives you. Anything beyond that is okay. So it's at the end of the day, it's what really resonates with you, or will appeal to your ideal client. So this is one style, how I've got it here. Now you'll see I've got a lot of white space here in the middle. The reason for that is that what you're seeing now is my profile through the desktop view, and the profile image is over here on the left. On mobile applications, this profile image actually appears right in the middle. So you've got to take this into consideration when you're doing your design, that if you put anything, say for example, like the book was here, the profile image on a desktop view is going to obscure that. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your design. And what I would do right now is go onto my profile. You can see you're seeing it here on desktop. Go on your mobile application and see it, and you'll see what I mean, where it's sitting right in the middle. The first thing you're going to do or need to have is the actual dimensions that you need to use for this image. Now, how you get those is come to this, if you logged into your profile, come to this little pencil icon here, and just click on that, like so, and then you'll see another one here. Now I'm just hovering over it, and you can see there it gives you the dimensions. Now these change sometimes, so this is the place before you start to go and make sure you get the most up-to-date dimensions, and then send that to whoever you're using on Fiverr, or obviously when you do it on Canva, just make sure you set your image to that size. So once you've got that, you're good to go. Now, here's a couple of examples of other ways that you could go about doing it. This one is a good friend of mine, Dr. David Dugan. Now you can see David has a bit of it like a tagline. I'm a real fan of, as you'll see, between this one and the next one, this concept of using taglines. Now, I'll use one in mind when I'm not promoting something through this banner image. And so if you have a sort of tagline about your business, kind of good way to put it there. And he's got some good social proof here about some awards and things that he or his business has won. So that's one really good way to do it. Another one you can see here is with Jeff. And this one is, so it's just really simple. He's just got a kind of a nice image, and he's got the logo for his business, and then he's got just a sentence or two about what he does, so that when somebody actually looks at his profile, it's very, very clear as to what's the value proposition that Jeff has, and why someone might want to connect with him. So they're the two: tagline or just a bit of a sentence about what it is you do and who you do it for, is what I believe is the best way to do these. All right, we're moving on. So the second part is the profile image. So you can see here, Jeff's got a nice clean image, head and shoulders. And the key thing is that the background of his image is very, very clean. Now, you've got an old selfie at the barbecue on the weekend. They're not going to cut it. LinkedIn is a professional platform. So we do want to have a good quality profile image. Now, again, you don't have to go to the trouble of getting professional photographers to do these. Of course, that is what will give you the best result. So if you're prepared to do that, I would highly recommend doing that. Jeff's is exactly that. So was David's, and so is mine. But the main thing, if you're going to do it yourself, is to just make sure that there's nothing in this background here. It doesn't have to be white, but as long as there's no images or anything in there that's competing for people's attention. So that's the key thing if you're going to do it yourself. Again, if you look at David's, sort of head and shoulders, clear background image, similar to Jeff's. And if you looked at mine, you'll see mine has a much more upfront, sort of in your face, so to speak, type of profile image. Again, as I said, no right or wrong. It's either headshot or real close up like this. The key thing is, in my opinion, is that there's a real emphasis on your eyes. So the eyes are the window to the soul, as people say. So as the saying goes. So this is the very first thing that, if we could heat map, which we can't, a LinkedIn profile, what we would see is that the first thing that in most cases people look at is this profile image. I'd also say you should keep it up to date. So nothing more than a couple of years out of date. Nothing worse than you connect with somebody and then you find in real life they're about 20 years older than the profile image they're using. Really destroys trust. So keep your profile image up to date. And the final thing I'd say on that is, if you wear glasses in the normal course of a day, so I'm not meaning if you just use them for reading like I do. If you do use them, if I was going to have a face-to-face meeting with you and you were wearing glasses, going to be wearing glasses, I would do that in your profile image. Just be genuine, be real, be the person that those people are going to see, because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do on LinkedIn, is get into conversations with people. Nothing destroys that trust more than out of date or profile images that don't match the real person. All right, moving on down to the experience section. And what I'm talking about here, I'm not going to go too deep on all this. I just mean these images here and how you get those to show onto your profile. The way you do that is you have to create a company page. Now, for small businesses like most of us, small, medium businesses, company pages aren't really not that much value, I believe, on LinkedIn. However, what they do is help you make your actual LinkedIn profile look visually appealing. So whatever shows here is what's actually on your company page. So when you format this, you go and create your company page first, and company pages look like this. So now you can see I've basically got the same type of setup here. I haven't got, you can see I've got zero of anything else that I'm doing on this company page. I'm not using it for any form of marketing. I don't care about it in one aspect at all other than this, because whatever you put here is what then shows onto your profile here. That's all I've got to say about company pages, and that's the value of it, is doing that. Then, of course, when you set this up, you come here, in the setup, and you've got to go and find that company page exactly how you created it, and just tag it there, and then it will show up on your profile image here. That's it for step one. So we are going to step through more and more stuff as we go. But what I would suggest you do at this point is get those 3 sections on your profile up to speed, and then you can move on to the next section, which you'll see is about the summary and position descriptions that you need to have. All right, guys, until then, over and out, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.